What's up everyone? Ryan Dobbs with 661 Realty. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about how to host a successful open house, what that looks like for me, the system that I follow, that I've kind of come up with over the last couple of years. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to break it into three parts. I'm going to do pre-open house, during the open house, and post-open house. Each thing that I do, or all the things that I do at each step of the way to ensure that my weekend is successful and I get the most amount of results, or the best results that I can from the open house. So let's get right into it. Every successful open house starts well before the weekend. And the first thing that I do to ensure I have a good weekend is pick the right house. Now, as a newer agent, I didn't have a lot of listings. I'm only going into my third full year of real estate right now. And as a little side note, my goal of open houses, I plan on hosting at least 52 open houses this year. So I love these. A lot of agents don't like to do them. They think they don't work, or that they're just wasting their time. They don't want to give up their weekends. I'm not really sure. They've never got a deal from them, I've heard. I get a lot of deals from open houses. And so, or even the ones that do them aren't doing them correctly. So maybe they're not getting, all the benefits or reaping all the rewards of spending time in a vacant house on a weekend. So this is what I do. I pick the right house first. And so I have certain criteria that I follow. So the first thing is going to be the price. I keep it around the average price of the area. Here in Bakersfield, it's around $250,000. Another good rule of thumb is to keep it underneath or right at the FHA limit. So a lot of first-time home buyers are gonna be. That's usually the people who don't have an agent that they're working with yet. It's where the most amount of buyers are going to be. And so that is the goal. I want to get the most amount of people through the door and meet the most amount of people, get the most amount of information. So to increase my chances of finding someone that I can connect with and work with in the future or right away, hopefully. So price range, that's the price range I go for. Now, another thing is the location. I tend to try to pick homes that are close to major cross streets. And the reason for this is that when I'm setting up all of my open house signs, I want the most amount of people to see them so that I can drive them into the neighborhood and make it pretty easily for them to get there. Now, I do the online marketing, so people will be able to see it online and get the directions, but usually about 50% of the people, or even more, that do show up because they saw my open house signs. The third thing I make sure is that the house is vacant or staged. So the reason being for this is you don't have to worry about the seller's schedule. Usually you can do anytime you want. You don't have to worry about them cleaning up or picking things up, making sure that the house is spotless beforehand. I know that it's ready to go if there's basically nothing there, or the things that are there are strategically placed to make the house look better. On my own listings, it's easier to work with my clients and, talk to them and get them to clean up the house, make sure that it's show ready and spotless and immaculate. When you're newer though, and you're doing open houses on other agents' listings, you can't really talk to their clients. So however the home is when you show up is kind of what you get. So I tend to try to get the vacant or staged homes. The next thing I do is I want to make sure that the house is updated and move-in ready. The reason for this is the online marketing that's going to take place. The homes that are updated and move-in ready are the most attractive to people. People love move-in ready now. They don't want to do anything. They just want to move in and it's done. So a house that has really good pictures and shows really, really well is going to get the most amount of attention online, which is going to bring the most amount of showings and buyers. Now, those are that's the criteria that I use to pick the right house. So price range, close to major cross streets, vacant or staged, and it's updated and move-in ready. Now, on the day of the open house, the setting up portion prior to, I usually show up about an hour to a half hour early and set up all my stuff. So what I bring to the open house is a table, chairs, my lender, a sign-in book, flyers, business cards, and pre-listing packages for those clients who come through that also have a house to sell. Those are my favorite because not only do they want to buy a house, they want to sell a house. And so I like to have my pre-listing packages available there. I don't pass them out to everybody, only the people who are serious and actually do have a home to sell and are, possibly interested in interviewing me or working with me. So once I get all that stuff set up, usually around the front door area so that I have a clear view of the door and I can see anyone as they're coming up, I'm gonna go out and set up all of my open house signs now. Well, actually, before I do that, I'm gonna flip all the lights on, open all the blinds, make sure there's as much light in the house as possible. I have a little mini portable radio that I bring that I just turn on real low on a local station. It kind of breaks up the awkwardness of it being, completely silent in the house. And so I will get all that stuff going. Now, when I go set up my signs, I'm gonna put at least 8 to 10 signs out, around the neighborhood and then on the major cross streets. Remember, I set it up next to a major cross street, so usually I'm gonna put at least 2 signs on that corner, and I'm gonna try to steer traffic into the neighborhood. So those are the things that I do to make sure that I have the most amount of people come through my open house that day, which is gonna give me the most amount of at-bats and shots to, connect with somebody and start to work with them. So picking the open house or picking the location, making sure that it's the right house, and then setting up the right amount of signs and making sure that the house is ready to go. That's all done prior to the weekend. Another thing that I like to do, and that actually I don't do very often, I do something differently, but a lot of agents do this, and they will door knock the neighborhood or send out an invitation to all of the neighbors. If I was going to do something like that, I would prefer to door knock and actually personally invite them. I think there's nothing better than a face-to-face invitation. What I tend to do is probably the lazy thing, but I bought a open house sign that says Saturday, Sunday open house, and then 1 to 4 p.m., which are the hours that I hold my open houses. I'll throw that in the yard so a couple days in advance so that people who are driving by or they come, they see the for sale sign or they see it online, so they drive by the house, they're gonna see that there's gonna be an open house this coming weekend, and then that's gonna make them wanna show up as well. So those are the things that I do prior to the open house. If you guys do anything else and that's working for you, feel free to leave a comment below. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give me a little thumbs up, and stay tuned for the next video, which is all the things that I do during the open house, which is, where the bread and butter is actually meeting the people. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you again soon.